You're watching OVC softball on ESPN+, the 10th all-time meeting between these two big cats. It's SIUE hosting Missouri from Cougar Field in Edwardsville, Illinois. Hi everybody, I'm Daniel Rodier alongside our entire ESPN crew for this OVC versus SEC matchup on ESPN+. We can take a look at the weather track to kick things off. It is 61 and sunny, wind ever so slightly to, we'll say, the north. It's blowing towards left center field. It is a beautiful day for softball. We can also take a look at our starting pitchers. They're brought to you by Justin's, the official recognition company of the OVC. These two wheelers are stellar individuals for these two rosters. First for Mizzou, the Tigers are bringing in Sierra Harrison, 6-4, 64.2 innings pitched, a 3.9 ERA is about the team average, 57 and 19 strikeouts to walks, a 267 opponent batting average against, a 1.33 whip. That's the number we're going to be talking about a decent bit today. Her 17th start here for the Tigers. Mia Volpert's inside the circle for SIUE. We'll talk about her a lot more in just a minute or so. 60 innings pitched, a 3.5 ERA. We'll take a brief break for the national anthem, and then our first pitch alongside our starting lineups are around the corner on ESPN.
It's just like our new house.
I hope you have an American Home Shield warranty. Leaky toilet? Fixed. Oven beyond repair? If AHS can't fix your covered item, they'll replace it, no matter its age. Sign up today at ahs.com.
With Little Caesar's new $5.99 Mix and Match, the pizzas are large and you're in charge. Choose 2 or more faves for only $5.99 each. Match this large pizza with that large pizza. Or any of these large pizzas with any of those large pizzas. Or maybe a large pizza and some Caesar wings. Hey, you're in charge. We'll just make it large. The new Mix and Match menu from Little Caesars for only $5.99 each.
Pizza, pizza.
A young possible future Cougar inside the circle or just in front of it. It's Kids Day here at SIUE. We can take a look at the Mizzou batting order. It's brought to you by Rawlings. Addie Waits is the leadoff hitter. She plays third. Abruscato will do the catching and bat second. Sydney Forrester will play right and bat third. It's a couple Abbies back-to-back, just to confuse me, I guess. Abby Hay bats cleanup and is over at first. Abby Carr is the DP. She will bat fifth. Sophie Smith plays second and bats sixth. Updegrove plays short and bats seventh. Kaylee Lenger is in center. And Linny Ramsey will play left and bat to clean things up and possibly be that extra leadoff hitter. We talked about the SIUE starting pitcher. Mia Volpert is inside the circle here for the Cougars. 5-6 win-loss, 60 innings pitched as mentioned. A rough weekend against Eastern Illinois last weekend out. 3.5 ERA, 297 batting average against. 24-13 strikeout to walk ratio is not bad. SIUE is one of the best teams in the OVC in not allowing walks and in taking walks. This is her 13th start for SIUE. We've got about a second until first pitch, so we'll also take a look at the SIUE defensive alignment. It's brought to you by Kentucky Tourism. Come explore your new Kentucky home. In the outfield, it is as usual. Really, across the board, it is as usual for the Cougars. Fahey, Harville, and Limburger left to right in the outfield. Reagan Duncan plays third. We've not seen Arissa Garza since Game 1 of the Eastern Illinois series. Justine Torres will play short. Betsy Woodward at second. Jesselyn Stairs over at first. Aiden Barrera is behind the dish today instead of Ashley Duran. He is the DP, and we will see her later inside the batting order. And as mentioned, Mia Volpert inside the circle. I told you at the open, this is the 10th meeting all time between these two teams. Mizzou has won all but one here.
Announces the batter.
He announces the batter, and we're ready to go.
Perfect. That's what I was checking on.
That's what we'll do.
All right, great.
Last time these two teams met here at Cougar Field was also only the third all-time meeting, technically the third and fourth. Back in April of 2010, SIUE hosted a doubleheader. They played a home-and-home split set of doubleheaders. 2009 and then 2010. SIUE's only win was a 2-0 win in April of 2010. It's the third all-time meeting between these two rosters. Mizzou has won 7 straight games and is 8-1 all-time versus SIUE. Head coach Larissa Anderson in her 8th year is 5-0 against the Cougars. They have played 5 separate times since the turn of this decade. Addie Waits leads off. First pitch home from Volpert is in there. First pitch officially at 5:06 p.m. Central Time. A trip straight across I-70 and then maybe I-270 if you want to be a little faster over here to Edwardsville for Missouri, coming from Columbia, Missouri. Addie Waits 266 this season. It's 1-1 to the Tiger leadoff. Volpert comes home with a 1-1. That's towards the right side. It bounces right over the glove of Jesslyn Stairs, and the leadoff batter is aboard for the Tigers. Officially attributed as a hit. No reason for Mia Volpert to think too long about the no-hitter or the perfect game. It lasts all of 4 pitches. Brings Stefania Abruscato into bat. She's batting .351. An OPS shade over 900 on the season. Has played in all but 1 game. Played and started all but 1 game for Missouri. She's in a softball and baseball family. I'll tell you a lot more about that as this one continues as she belts that over the right field fence. It takes 7 pitches. It's a very short turnaround for the Tigers, and they launch another home run to add to their season tally. Officially 2 runs on 2 hits as Stefania launches that over the right field fence. Home run number 34 for the team on the season. And for Forrester, it is her 4th. Or for Abruscato, sorry, it is her 4th. Immediately turned on that one, and Volpert got some trouble early. Brings in Abby Hay. Abby Hay, a native of Columbia, plays in the neighborhood of her hometown on a consistent basis. This isn't too far away, and she seems comfortable already. 3 hits in very short order for the Tigers, and Mia Volpert's got some trouble brewing quickly. May have seen our home plate umpire, Christina Bates. She was here over the weekend for the Eastern Illinois series. She's behind the dish. She was just inside the circle covering the inner half of the infield. Bradley Gaylord is over at first base. Kevin Wallace over at third as that one gets away. Wild pitch gets base runner over to second base. Forrester advances for free. That one right back up the middle. Torres makes her way over and zings it over to first base. Cougars have recorded their first out of the first inning, but it took them 4 batters and is a free 60 feet for Sydney Forrester. She makes her way over to third. The other of the 2 Abbies makes her way in. She will hit and pitch here for the Tigers. Not today, but she does on occasion. 6-foot freshman out of Wildwood, Missouri, went to Lafayette. Appeared 3 separate times as a pitcher in the Alabama series. And enough worry for head coach Ben Sorden here for SIUE. Has drawn out a conversation and a quick one. For Mia Volpert, it has not been the easiest of starts to, well, understate the obvious. Ten pitches for Mia Volpert. She's given up a single to the right side, a home run over the right field fence, a single, a wild pitch, and an advancement on a ground out. A total of 11 bases already gained here for the Tigers, and that one misses low. Conversation apparently did not yield as much fruit as Sorden was hoping. Very quickly, the count goes to 2-0 on the 5-hole hitter for the Tigers. That one drops away as well, ball 3, and it's in short order 3-0. Rio home. It's just in the outside corner, in there for a strike, and Volpert keeps the count alive. Talked about Carr's pitching in the Alabama series. She also played all 3 games batting at the plate. She puts that towards the left side. It escapes over the glove of Reagan Duncan. It too will be a hit number 4 for the Tigers in this first inning, and it scores a run. Abby Carr adds to her impressive season total of RBIs. That's number 30 for her on this season. Already batting in the neighborhood of 300. That'll help her average. Sophie Smith now to bat. 313 batting average, just shy of 900 OPS. That's off the inside of the bat, off her fist, and escapes into center field, and Harville bobbled it. It will be a single. We'll credit it as a straight-up double, as Harville more than likely would have been having difficulties turning and throwing. Some internal strife for our official score sitting to my left. It's Madison Uptigrove steps in. Officially, it will be a single and an advancement on an error. So second and third off of what was a hit anyway, but some difficulties in center field for Abby Harville. I'll touch on this a lot more, but SIUE's had some difficulties fielding, especially throughout the last couple weekends against Morehead State, the weekday series against SLU, and then problems following up as they may not be able to field this one. That's pelted towards right field. It will fall in for a hit. Limburger has trouble fielding it. It's a double, maybe a triple. Throw towards third, maybe out by a mile. She swum moved that. Oh my goodness, what a slide over at third base for Madison Uptigrove. She gets around the tag. And Ben Sorten had a pretty good look at it. So too did our third base umpire. And it's such a good attempt to swim move the tag. Ben Sorten won't even attempt to challenge. A straight up triple as she avoids the tag from Reagan Duncan. And in short order, 5-0 Missouri in this first inning. Brings the 8th hitter for Missouri and the 8th hitter of the inning here in the top of the first to bat. Kaylee Lenger to do so. Picked over at first. They will say it is a catch. It sounded as if Reagan Duncan picked that, but both umpires agree she caught it on the fly, albeit a very low fly, but on the fly regardless. Kaylee Lenger lines out to third. The Cougars have their second opportunity to get the out completed. Lenny Ramsey now to bat. Batting 9th for the Tigers. Basically the second leadoff for them, batting .333 on the season. That one misses outside. Volpert deals the 0-1. That one hits the base runner. They will say it was foul, just barely off the heels of Madison Uptigrove. She is fortunate she stepped off in foul ground. In baseball, you're always taught at third base to take your lead in foul ground. Softball, you don't get that luxury because you can't take a lead until the ball is released. So it is up to you to then exit into foul ground after the pitch is released, which is always some difficult timing. Uptigrove, when she jumped, was fortunate to be just a shade outside the line. 2-1 count to the line hitter, 9-hitter Lenny Ramsey. Volpert will wind and deliver. popped into shallow center field. Harville running in. She won't need to. Justine Torres completes the out, but a difficult first inning for SIUE and a massive top of the first for Missouri. 5 runs, 6 hits, and an error. Every run is earned and credited, unfortunately, to Mia Volpert. We've played 1/2 of a frame. We head to the bottom here on ESPN.
Welcome once again to Cooper Field. Energy needs may change with the seasons, but saving money makes sense all year. With CenterPoint Energy's efficiency programs, it's easy. Home energy assessments help spot ways to save. Rebates can lower heating, cooling equipment costs. And our online marketplace delivers energy-saving products to your door, electric and gas savings, all from your local energy provider. See how you can save this winter by going to centerpointenergy.com/smart-savings.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
Member FDIC.
Are you ready to take your money to new heights? Get a flexible high-yield checking account that lets you customize your interest rate so you can keep your finances headed in the right direction. With Elevate Checking from United Fidelity Bank, you're in control of how much you earn. You can raise your rate with a few easy steps. Get more ways to earn more with Elevate Checking and start earning 4.00% APY. Learn more at unitedfidelity.com/elevate or visit your local banking center.
Take a look at the SIUE or Missouri defensive alignment. It too is brought to you by Kentucky Tourism. Come explore your new Kentucky home. Ramsey, Lenger, and Forrester is mentioned left to right in the outfield. Addie Waits, Madison Uptigrove, Sophie Smith, and Abby Hay left to right in the infield. The Abbies anchor the corners and bat 4th and 5th. Behind the dish for the Tigers, it is Stefania Abruscato, and Sierra Harrison is inside the circle. Bottom of the first here from Edwardsville, Illinois, Cougar Field. Daniel Rodier alongside our entire ESPN crew. So you can take a look at the SIUE batting order. It too is brought to you by Rawlings, the #1 softball brand worldwide and widely recognized as the mark of a pro. It's proud to be the official softball of the OVC. Caitlin Fahey leading off. You can see her inside the right-handed batter's box right now. Abby Harville after her playing center. Ashley Duran, the DP, bats 3rd. Reagan Duncan over at 3rd, bats 4th. Jesslyn Stairs at 1st, bats 5th. Betsy Woodward at 2nd. And you can see the rest of the SIUE batting order. It is Justine Torres who's batting 7th. Aiden Barrera batting 8th, and Harley Limburger over on right. She bats 9th. 2-2 count on Kaylin Fahey, the SIUE left fielder, facing Sierra Harrison. Harrison has had a stellar season for the Tigers and pops up Fahey immediately. Abruscato makes the play, and quickly there's one down and a foul nearly straight back. Told you I'd tell you a decent bit about Stefania Abruscato. After that out, there's probably no better time to do so. Her father, Thomas, played at Adelphi University and made the College World Series in his time as a baseball player. Now, there was a conversation I had with her before this game started. We are both pretty sure he just became the winningest head coach at Clark High School on Long Island. His predecessor spent 36 years at Clark, went 530 and 259. He got his 500th win in April of 2024. We believe he's surpassed that now. She's very much in a softball/baseball family. An older sister, Juliana, who played at UConn. They did not get the chance to play each other, and her sister has since graduated. 2-0-1-1 straight home is immediately caught over at shortstop by Uptigrove. And Abby Harville, even with a decent bit of contact, unfortunately does not turn into a decent bit of hitting. She gives some direction over towards Ashley Duran. Duran batting .344, Cougar leader in many offensive statistics Swings and misses at the first pitch. Leader in batting average. She's one of just 2 players batting above 300. Betsy Woodward, the other of the 2. O2's fouled back. She'll stay alive. Missouri spent the last 2 years down in Clearwater at the NFCA Division I Leadoff Classic. And in consecutive seasons, they played their 3rd game of the season on MLB Network, national television, and won it. Strike 3 swinging for Ashley Duran, and quickly Missouri gets out of the first inning. No runs on no hits and no errors. Only 2 balls really put in play, and one was a foul back. Cougars stay scoreless as they're blanked in the bottom. We head to the top of the second. 5-0 Missouri.
With Little Caesars' new $5.99 mix and match, the pizzas are large and you're in charge. Choose 2 or more faves for only $5.99 each. Match this large pizza with that large pizza, or any of these large pizzas with any of those large pizzas, or maybe a large pizza and some Caesar wings. Hey, you're in charge. We'll just make it large. The new mix and match menu from Little Caesars for only $5.99 each.
Pizza, pizza.
You're told to optimize, to hack. There's always a promise of a better you. But what if you were never meant to be fixed? Your biology knows how to thrive. It just needs a reminder. Armor Colostrum reawakens that brilliance. 400 nutrients, 4 seconds, 1 daily revival. This time, remember what you're made of.
Half of it rooting for SIUE on the SIUE side of the field. The other, just behind home plate on the opposite side, is rooting for Missouri, and they have been treated here at Cougar Field. Not on that occasion. That's skied straight away center field as Abby Harville will sit down the Missouri leadoff hitter, Addie Waits. She was 1 for 1 with a single, and we'll say lines out to center.
Batting second, Stefania Abrascado.
Missouri as a team travels very well for further out-of-town SEC games. For a 2-hour trip to an away game. Very obvious the reason they've packed the bleachers here at Cougar Field. Both berms on outside the left and right field fences are packed as well. That one just misses the outside corner. Falls quickly to 2-0. Told you about the berms out in left and right. There is one. There's a foul back. It's the same case for soccer over at Ralph Cordy Stadium here at SIUE, and for baseball at Roy E. Lee Field. All 3 outdoor locations have berms outside the actual fences of the field, where you can watch from a distance and see a little bit of a different look that you would normally see from outfield bleachers. Nice way to bring your own lawn chair, blanket or 2, depending on how quickly the sun sets. Enjoy a afternoon into early evening here in Edwardsville. Volper catches the inside corner to Abrascado, and the count fills up to the Tiger catcher. Missouri comes into today 15-18 overall. They're 1-5 in SEC play. You look at that and say, you'd like to have them win a couple more games. Abrascado walks. However, if you look at their schedule, they play arguably the hardest 2 weeks in the country inside conference play. They were at Florida, where a cousin of Claire Cahalan plays. They've seen her a couple times. But to a number 5/number 8 Florida, they had a really good weekend, despite the fact they lost all 3 games. They lost 5-4 on Friday, lost 4-3 in 11 innings on Saturday, and then 5-2 on, what was Monday. They played Saturday, Sunday, Monday for that series. That was the first full weekend in March. That drops away. Abruscato getting a decent lead over at first base. She'll track back. They beat UT Martin 8-0 in 5 innings. That was their first OVC opponent of the season. Then they turn around and they play a home weekend as they host a couple out-of-conference opponents. That one misses inside. It's 2-0. They played Minnesota, a team SIUE played, and lost 5-0 to. Missouri beat 8-1. They also played South Dakota twice and Iowa State. Won all 4 of their home games then, and beat Illinois twice last week. Lifted in the air to right. Limburger making her way in. Shouldn't have any problems with it. Nearly dropped it, but she does make the catch. And I told you about the rest of their difficult SEC first 2 weekends. They played number 4/number 6, Alabama, last weekend. Lost game 1, 2-1. Won game 2, 5-2. And then lost game 3, 4-3. They won the run differential battle in a series they lost. But a stellar first 2 weeks for a team that is 1-5 in the SEC. Sub out, we'll say 3 runs. And they could very easily be 4-2. Abby Hay steps in. OPS above 1,000, 347 batting average. Already has 4 home runs on the season. Grounded up to short in her first time up. Was the only out of the first 7 batters for Missouri, but because there was a runner on, she still helped a player advance. Fulper gets the sign from the pitch comm on her wrists and delivers the 1-0. Misses high. Aiden Barrera trying to gun down her counterpart catcher for the Tigers. Stefania Abruscato has gotten a considerable post-pitch lead, or secondary lead, as it is occasionally called. Continues here. That's it for a strike in the outside corner. Fulper brings home the 2-1. Misses low and in. Missouri's had limited numbers in batting for really most of their season. That's towards shortstop. Double play ball could be, but they're not able to turn it immediately. They don't need to. I forgot there were 2 outs. Luckily, the infield did not. They're able to complete the top of the second without any further damage done. SIUE comes back to bat, trying to break into this lead when we come back on ESPN.
Located on State Route 1.
I'm coming for you. Cue up the spotlight. Drum up the beat right. You want it so bad, go get it, I dare ya.
With Little Caesars new $5.99 mix and match, the pizzas are large and you're in charge. 2 or more faves for only $5.99 each. This match or this match? You're in charge. We'll make it large. Mix and match from Little Caesars for only $5.99 each.
Pizza, pizza.
Courtesy of their starting pitcher, Sierra. That brings in the cleanup hitter, Reagan Duncan, who needs to do everything but clean up. She needs to start things off for the Cougars here in the bottom of the second inning. 5-0 Missouri here at Cougar Field in Edwardsville, Illinois. If you're more familiar with the Columbia, Missouri area, it's 2.5-ish hours straight east, depending on what time of day you leave. And to be honest with you, how fast you decide to go on I-70. Harrison brings home the 1-1. Misses high. In terms of innings pitched alone, she's the second most prolific pitcher for Missouri. She misses low with the 2-1. It becomes 3-1. Marissa McCann pitches the most. Abby Carr is the most efficient, a 2.04 ERA for who is currently the DP for Missouri. That misses outside. A very quick walk allowed. Missouri pitching is not one of the best in D1, but in the upper echelons of D1 ranks for strikeouts to walks on the pitching side. 2.13 strikeout to walk ratio. It's tied for 44th in Division I softball. SIUE has a 1.93 strikeout to walk ratio. That's 61st. Although for SIUE, walks and strikeouts are significantly lower totals. SIUE's only given up 55 total walks on the pitching side. That is good for first in the OVC and a tie for 27th nationally. Missouri is given up 88 walks on the season, is 12th in the SEC. They also strike out a lot more batters. 187 total strikeouts for the Wheelers of the Tigers. That misses high and in. It's quickly 3-0. And Sierra Harrison calls her own timeout. It's a little bit more applicable for an SEC opponent. I brought this up last week when SIUE played Eastern Illinois. The dugout of SIUE will do something very similar to what Texas A&M fans will do after walks. If there's a 4-pitch walk, they will count ball 4, and then ball 5 and 6 and 7. Eventually, when they get to 11 or 12, it becomes a little hysterical. Here, it's just 3-0, and it quickly shuts up the SIUE dugout, as that's a strike right down the middle. Stairs waited to see her pitch and didn't even remove the bat from her shoulders on a 3-0 count. Harrison brings home the 3-1. Stairs pokes it out towards left. First step in for the left fielder Ramsey, but she is able to track back, make the play, and force Reagan Duncan to track back to first base, one away in the home half of the second.
Up next, second baseman, number 21, Betsy Woodward.
Brings in the Cougars' second baseman, true freshman Betsy Woodward. Watches ball 1 inside, much to the chagrin of the Tiger catcher Abruscato. Woodward out of Fresno, California. It's a nice little home opener to the season for her, and for only her, when they played Fresno State in Idaho. She puts down the bunt towards the left side. It is a stellar one. Tries to beat out the throw. She's not able to do so, but she does get the sac bunt down. Outstanding play over at third made by Addie Waits. And there's 2 down in the Cougar second. Head coach Ben Sorden was courteous enough to allow me to watch some of practice yesterday.
Shortstop, number 4, Justine Torres.
And he had the conversation. They did not bunt all that well for their attempts at small ball over last weekend or the weekend prior against Morehead State, to the point where there were players in front of pitching machines with a lacrosse stick out, just making sure they could properly receive the ball on what is a bunt attempt. About as old school as it gets, and I'm from Maryland. We saw a lot more lacrosse sticks than were just at softball fields, that's for sure. Effective way of looking at it. He seems thrilled with how it went for Betsy Woodward there. I believe the first sack hit for them going all the way back to the St. Louis game a week ago. This home to Justine Torres. She swings and misses on the 1-1 pitch. 1-2, and the Cougars facing 2 outs with a runner on base. Justine Torres the same. Batting .212, OPS of .568. Both of those numbers will go down after the swing. Strikeout, no real issues for Harrison despite the walk allowed. She gets out of the second. Again, on no runs, no hits, and no errors. Just 1 above the minimum faced as we head to the top of the third.
I'm coming for you. Cue up the spotlight. Drum up the beat right. You want it so bad, go get it, I dare ya.
With Little Caesars new $5.99 mix and match, the pizzas are large and you're in charge. 2 or more faves for only $5.99 each. This match or this match? You're in charge. We'll make it large. Mix and match from Little Caesars for only $5.99 each.
Pizza, pizza.
Abby Carr to bat. Tigers back to the plate. Scoreless second inning for them, but a stellar first. Abby Carr trying to add to their run total. Only adds to the flyout total. She, too, flies out to Harley Limburger out in right field. Add it to the list of putouts for the SIUE outfield. Mia Volpert already inducing, make that 5 flyouts in her first 7 outs of this game. Sophie Smith now to bat. .313 batting average, just shy of a 900 OPS for her. She singled and scored in the first. Volpert's 1-0 home. Breaks outside, just stays in, enough for a strike. Heard somebody above me say, that's a coin. You heard the Mario animation. There are a couple of those here at Cougar Field. That's just past third base. Basket catch maybe for Duncan. It's Justine Torres who ranges over and makes the catch. Good awareness for Duncan to allow Torres to make that. Fahey was a little too far away from the ball, but because Torres is coming from a deeper part of the infield, she has a better angle on it. And a fly out to right center and a pop foul down the left side. Very quickly, do the Cougars have 2 outs put away in this third inning. Cougars have faced a couple power conference opponents this season. That's fouled off towards the right side. Had a game against the ACC's Pitt, lost 10-0 in 6 innings down in Richmond, Kentucky. That was the Colonel Classic hosted by Eastern Kentucky. 2 weeks ago to the day, they played Minnesota from the Big Ten, lost 5-0 there. It was a rough first couple innings, and that's really what did it. Actually, the opposite. They scored 4 in the 5th. My apologies. Be their 3rd power conference opponent this season in Mizzou. Right back up the middle, hits the foot of Volpert to second base. Woodward had to bare hand. She wasn't able to do so. Volpert initially wincing at her left foot, gives a thumbs up to the dugout, seems to be okay. If anything, kept the ball in the infield. That doesn't hit her foot. It's easily making it into the grass. Either way, it is a hit, and more than likely would have been a runner at first base regardless of her left foot being in the way. Gets Sophie Smith back on base. Her 2nd hit of the day already. Brings Kaylee Lenger in. Lenger wearing the very rare number 99 for Missouri. And pelts it towards center field. It actually ended up more towards the end of the bat and is there for Abby Harville to make the catch. She ranges in and is easily able to gobble up the fly ball. We've played 5 frames, 2.5 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. SIUE still trying to break into that lead. Missouri picked first.
For a local
Kids are always snacking on the go, so keep them going all day with chewy, delicious Sunbelt bakery bars. From oats and honey to chocolate chip to soft baked strawberry, there's a flavor for everyone. The tastiest flavors under the sun. Sunbelt bakery bars.
Are you ready to take your money to new heights? Get a flexible high-yield checking account that lets you customize your interest rate so you can keep your finances headed in the right direction. With Elevate Checking from United Fidelity Bank, you're in control of how much you earn. You can raise your rate with a few easy steps. Get more ways to earn more with Elevate Checking and start earning 4.00% APY. Learn more at unitedfidelity.com/elevate or visit your local banking center.
In Kentucky, we're moving forward together. Our businesses are winning and our families are thriving. Because Kentucky is a place where business is fast, but the pace of life is just right. Now, we're looking at a new Kentucky, one where good jobs and a good life are possible for everyone. Y'all interested? We don't blame you. So come explore your new Kentucky home.
Cougars still without a hit as we head to the third inning. Perfect game is gone for Sierra Harrison. She walked Betsy Woodward to allow the first Cougar base runner on board. 5-0 Missouri, home half of the third inning from Cougar Field in Edwardsville, Illinois. Daniel Roedier alongside our entire ESPN crew. Aiden Barrera in the 8-hole. Swings at strike one. With the intricacies of the designated player in the flex position for SIUE, they take full advantage of that. Barrera was officially listed as the DP on the starting lineup, but after the meeting with the umpires, she moved her way over behind the plate. I believe it was Ashley Duran who was listed as the catcher, which is also not abnormal. She will do her fair share of catching when it is not Barrera. Barrera, a stellar defensive catcher, but main issue she's had this season is at the plate. 0.75 with an OPS of 335. She sees strike two as the count quickly fills up on the Cougar catcher. Sophomore fouls that one back. Out of Floresville, Texas. Conversation, if you've seen a lot of SIUE games that Randy and I have had on a consistent basis. SIUE is not only a young team, they're a team that does not have many transfers. Total of 4 players for SIUE that have transferred from schools that are not high schools. Kaylin Fahey out of Green Bay, Frydenlund out of Minnesota Duluth, and Kiana Villa and Gretchen Trello, both out of community colleges. Villa out of Central Arizona Community College, which makes sense. She's from Coolidge, Arizona. And Gretchen Trello from Williamsville went to St. Louis Community College. The Texan strikes out and gives her own bit of advice to the follow-up hitter. That's been a consistent factor for SIUE. Your at-bat ends, you have a conversation with the on-deck follow-up hitter. Tell them what you saw. Harley Limburger now to bat. At 185, a 796 OPS is pretty good for the Cougar right fielder. Officially listed as a catcher, would be the third in the rotation, but for SIUE, they've got 2 that are very good. And she's been a pretty decent right fielder for the Cougars thus far this season. Check swing there, she's called for the strike. And just off the right side of your screen, Ben Sorden's telling her, take a breath. Especially on that pitch that just kept trailing away. Realized about midway through her swing she didn't want it. Now faces the 1-1. That time she realized midway through not swinging she did want it. Doesn't try it, it's 1-2. One-two home to Limburger. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second consecutive strikeout for Sierra Harrison. And what turns into the 5th strikeout of the game, 4th strikeout of the game, sorry, for Cougar batters, is strikeout number 61 for Sierra Harrison. Now above a 3.0 strikeout to walk ratio. She has had limited issues with Cougar batters. Kaylin Fahey, the first of them she faced. Fouled it straight up. Wouldn't have even been a single in an elevator shaft, as they say. As that's fouled back. It was Abrascato who made the first putout of the day. And now gets her choice of a couple softballs from our home plate umpire. All of these umpires SIUE has seen this season. As it is an SIUE home game, they are OVC umpires.
4-2. 4-2 now.
That misses outside, brings it to 1-2. Christina Bates has mentioned our home plate umpire, Bradley Gaylord, seen here a couple weeks ago, I believe for the Minnesota game and for the follow-up weekend series against Moorhead State, is over at first, and Kevin Wallace was here over the weekend. He's over at third. Nice catch for Abrascato. That one misses high and away again. It's 2s across the scoreboard. 2-2 with 2 outs to the 2-hitter. The 1-hitter, wearing number 1 for SIUE. Harrison again misses high and away. 3 consecutive pitches, all in the same general vicinity. High and outside to the Cougar left fielder. Understandable, she wants to keep it high. It was a pop foul back last time Fahey came to the plate. Full count offering, off-speed pitch. That too is lined to short. Another way to end the inning for Missouri. The infielders have gotten their fair share of opportunities outside the strikeouts from Sierra Harrison. It's Updegrove that time to finish the inning. We've played 3 full. It's Missouri back-to-back when we return on ESPN.
Look closely. When every line is considered, every detail refined, when design and performance come together as one, all you see is everything you want. The Dell XPS.
You want it so bad, go get it, I dare ya.
With Little Caesars new $5.99 mix and match, the pizzas are large and you're in charge. 2 or more faves for only $5.99 each. This match or this match, you're in charge. We'll make it large. Mix and match from Little Caesars for only $5.99 each.
Pizza, pizza.
Back here in Edwardsville, Ramsey fouls off the leadoff bunt attempt, the 9-hole hitter for Missouri. She is the essence of a second leadoff. Was always offended when I would bat 9th. Now, in all fairness, I was a terrible hitter, but I was always offended when I would bat 9th. I'd bat half the time, I'd bunt half the time though, so maybe just a second leadoff opportunity. Daniel Roedier alongside our entire ESPN crew here with you from Edwardsville. One too early to Lenny Ramsey. Dropper misses outside. It's 2-2. Same pitch, same general location. Missed away. Volpert goes quickly from 1-2 up to 3-2. Really even, a pitch in either direction doesn't help her. That one misses high and in. Volpert not thrilled with it. Either the pitch, maybe the home plate umpire. In either case, it's ball 4. Again, the leadoff batter is aboard for Missouri. Ben Sorden, as you may have just heard, expressing his displeasure. Back to the top of the order, and Addie Waits, 1 for 2. Flew to center in the second inning, but singled and scored back in the first. Was the first run and tentatively what would be the game-winning run, albeit prematurely, but game-winning run regardless as it stands. Eric corrals that one low and away, 2-0. Those couple of pitches, it's again enough for Ben Sorden to initiate a conversation. There are two SIUE pitchers hanging out on the fence down the left field line. I believe that's Michaela Anderson and Avery Arwood. Although Anderson turned around and looked towards where SIUE pitchers warm up. I don't know if anybody's warming up over there. Again, just a conversation for Sorden. That's his second conversation that has not turned into a pitching change for SIUE. After the conversation, that one yields fruit for Mia Volpert. Finds strike one to the Tiger leadoff hitter. Two and one home. Swung on towards the right side. Maybe look at a turn two. Stairs will guarantee the first out, but will allow the leadoff runner, or leadoff hitter and lead runner, Lenny Ramsey, to advance to second base on the fielder's choice, or what is just a ground out that advances a hitter. The essence of a sacrifice hit. Abruscato back to bat. Tiger catcher is in. That one kept dipping low and away. Volpert brings the 1-0 home. Right back up the middle. This one avoids Volpert, but is slow enough to score a run. Easily coming home is Lenny Ramsey, and it's an RBI single for the Tiger catcher. Abruscato already has 3 RBIs on the day. The 2-run home run that virtually led off the game. And now the RBI single. She also walked. She is 3 for 3 on plate appearances, 2 for 2 on at-bats. RBI number 24 for her. That's towards the right side. Woodward is able to convert the out. But again, with Jesselyn Stairs just stepping on first base, they are not able to put away the leadoff or lead runner. Abruscato advances to second. Another essence of just a sac bunt. And Cougar head coach is having a conversation with Christina Bates. And it is enough for her to initiate a conversation with her fellow umpires. This is interesting. I believe he may be challenging whether she left first base early.
SIUE is challenging the runner left early at first base. Play is under review.
So we'll be able to look at whether or not the lead runner, Abruscato, left first before the ball was released from the hand of Mia Volpert.
I don't know yet. I don't know whether in that case what should happen is the ball will probably come back into play. You're taking and the runner is out. But I don't know.
We've got a wider look at things to see whether or not Abruscato did leave. You're watching the foot of Abruscato over at first base. We'll just play it frame by frame for you to start things off. If she leaves early before the ball is released, which she definitely does, you can see, watch her foot. We'll watch for the frame her foot leaves and stop it there. The ball's still in the hand. It very much is of Mia Volpert. She will be out. So this becomes a delayed dead ball, and it is a very delayed dead ball given the challenge. And what this does, assuming Ben Sorden does want the out and the restart of the count, it will bring Sydney Forrester back to the plate. She will have the same count she did prior, and Stefania Abruscato will be out. You can see she left a little bit early from that wider angle. Although our umpires have a slightly different look of things from our official replay cameras. There are 6 stationary cameras set around the softball field, 2 directly above home plate and 2 anchored on both dugouts. They have seen enough, quite literally looking at an iPad, but it's a very efficient way of reviewing things here at Cougar Field. Here's Christina Bates.
After review of the play, the runner did leave early at first. 0-0 will come back. We have 2 outs, 0-0 on the count. SIUE has 2 challenges remaining.
Do appreciate our umpires. I don't even have to say anything after that. Although on the off chance you did not hear our home plate umpire, Christina Bates, Abruscato is ruled to have left early. The outcome of the play anyway was 2 outs, but it's now 2 outs with nobody on base and Sydney Forrester coming back to the plate. So instead of what was a ground out for Sydney Forrester, she restarts her entire plate appearance because she swung at the first pitch. And what's interesting, a little bit of a learning opportunity for our home plate umpire, Christina Bates. There was an interesting occasion over the weekend where a delayed dead ball, which turned into a review, yielded what was the incorrect count for the at-bat. And it turns out it's going to be a hit regardless for Sydney Forrester. She rounds but will stop over at first base. So a runner on base, still with 2 outs, but now they're restricted to first base of the 2. And Abby Hay comes to the plate, but it will mean a change over at first base as Sydney Forrester's going to have a pinch runner once our home plate umpire and the Missouri Tigers head coach finish their conversation down the third base line. It's Addie Kohler, number 16, the 5'7" junior, who will pinch run over at first. A native of Texarkana, Texas. Product of Pleasant Grove High School, has spent all 3 of her seasons at Missouri and may look to transfer over to third base. It's bobbled in left field. Kaylin Fahey and Abby Harville both have problems with it. 2 separate errors will yield not only the single, which was a single anyway, but 2 separate handling errors allow 2 extra bases for the pinch runner, and you can see exactly why speed kills. Addie Kohler rounds all the way from first and comes home to score, and Missouri has a 6-0 lead. Ball gets away on a wild pitch and again allows free advancement for Tiger base runners. Abby Hay moves her way over to third. "60 feet from even further danger. It's in there for a strike. As Abby Carr there with a single. Trying to add another RBI to her already impressive total this season. Not able to do so there. That will end the top of the fourth, but more damage done and some self-inflicted wounds for SIUE allow 2 separate runs across. Cougars trail now by 7 through 3.5 here in Edwardsville.
Fans, be on the lookout for David Cougar as he is ready for his career fix to Hawthorne Animal Hospital.
I'm coming for you. Cue up the spotlight. Drum up the beat right. You want it so bad, go get it, I dare ya.
With Little Caesars new $5.99 mix and match, the pizzas are large and you're in charge. Choose 2 or more faves for only $5.99 each. Match this large pizza with that large pizza. Or any of these large pizzas with any of those large pizzas. Or maybe a large pizza and some Caesar wings. Hey, you're in charge. We'll just make it large. The new mix and match menu from Little Caesars for only $5.99 each.
Pizza, pizza.
Back in Edwardsville, 7-0 Missouri over the St. Louis-ish area rivals. Couple rivers and bridges you have to cross to meet between these two teams. Missouri about 2.5 hours nearly due west of here in Columbia, Missouri. Adjustment for Missouri. They do have their pinch runner, or what was a pinch runner, Addie Kohler, staying in the game. She is out in right field right now. It's not the only game going on for SIUE, even to restrict it to the St. Louis area. That's swung on and missed for strike 2. SIUE baseball is currently at St. Louis at the Billiken Sports Complex. Top 9 there. Cougars are trailing by 6 and a couple outs away from ending that game. That game started back at around 3 p.m. Central Time. That's fouled back for Harville. If you're looking out towards the near future, SIUE baseball will play St. Louis again on April 15th. That's tax day. And if St. Louis wins this occasion, it will be a rubber match for a season series split across 3 separate days. That's fouled back. Something we'll talk about in just a second for our upcoming series. SIUE softball is also playing a rubber match against St. Louis. That's in just a week and a day. Harville fouls that one back, stays 0-2. Once more to Harville. That drops away, 1-2. First pitch that is missed in the inning for Sierra Harrison. You may have heard Abruscato, the catcher, say, quote, "Was that low or out?" I think the correct answer there was both. In either case, it is a ball. That's fouled back again for Harville, who is staying alive on an at-bat that has had every different pitch for Sierra Harrison in nearly every portion of the zone. It's a 1-2 count that Harrison has to run back anyway. She wheels and delivers. That one misses outside. Even in a 2-2 count, this has not been an easy AB for Harrison. 9th pitch of the at-bat on the way. That's fouled back. Double-digit pitches in this AB, and for Harrison, This will be pitch number 56. She entered the inning, completing 3 full innings with 46 pitches. She's had an average of 15 pitches per inning, much less what is about to be nearly her 15th pitch for this specific batter. 2/3 of the way there at a bare minimum. Full count offering. That's popped towards shallow right field. Ranging back on, it's the second baseman who will make the play. It's Sophia Smith to make the grab. And Harrison wins the at-bat, but it takes her a few extra pitches than maybe she would have liked. Ashley Duran to bat. We'll take a look at the upcoming series. They're brought to you by Visit SI. Make Southern Illinois your summer oasis. Mizzou That's Eastern Illinois from this most recent weekend. And while Duran has a conversation with her head coach, Duran looking at the 1-1. We'll take a look at those upcoming series when we come back for the top of the 5th inning here in Edwardsville. That's fouled back by Duran. It's 2-2. That misses outside. Believe it fills the count up. It does indeed. 3-2. Very quickly, another full count that Harrison must face. That's fouled back. Full count offering again. That one misses low. Duran takes her free base. And SIUE has what is just their second base runner of the day. Third base runner of their day. And it's enough to have the Cougar head coach bring in a pinch runner. Ben Sorden will have a conversation with our home plate umpire, Christina Bates, and enter Elle Van Bruzigen over at first. Van Bruzigen and Haley Strain are the two go-to pinch runners for SIUE. Strain can even bat herself if needed, as she too is a pitcher. Had a conversation yesterday. Michaela Anderson is another name inside the pitching staff for the Cougars that could also be a pinch runner if needed. .1-0 now from Harrison. Droppers fouled away, back into the illustrious Mizzou away crowd. The tentative number, we were told, were 400 tickets purchased for today's game. It's Kids Day in the Edwardsville area, alongside a close away game for the Missouri faithful. 1-2 home. That's off the end of the bat. Towards the right side. Escapes under the glove of Harrison. Play made over at first base. And a quick 4-3 putout. Advances a runner, but puts 2 outs on the board that SIUE need to deal with.
Now batting, number 11, Jesslyn Stairs.
Puts Jesslyn Stairs inside the batter's box. She was ready to swing at the first pitch, held back, and to the thrill of head coach Ben Sorden, just yelled good. Pretty efficient way of expressing your pleasure, I suppose. 1-0 now. Harrison brings it home. That's in there for a strike. Sayers maybe not thrilled with the fact she didn't swing at it. Just above a belt-high fastball. It's 1-1. Make it 1-2. Harrison brings back a couple pitches and is a strike away from being out of what is tied for the most danger she's been in all day. Was her 3rd walk of the game. First to Duncan in the first inning, or in the second inning, sorry. Woodward, who had this sac bunt later on, is the only non-at-bat compared to her and what was Duran, but it's a swing and a miss. Drop third strike is inconsequential. Abruscato applies the tag, and Missouri escapes what is the most danger they've faced all day. 4 complete here in Edwardsville, still 7-0 Missouri.
I'm coming for you. Cue up the spotlight. Drum up the beat right. You want it so bad, go get it, I dare ya.
AHS presents the ups and downs of homeownership. The AC is struggling, and without coverage, a fix could cost up to $6,000? Thank goodness AHS protects your budget. American Home Shield. Sign up today at ahs.com.
7-0 Missouri. Here in Edwardsville, Illinois, a defensive change for SIUE. Just the same as it was for Missouri. In the previous half inning, it is now for the Cougars in this half inning. El Van Bruzigen will stick around in this game and go play right field. Told you the tentative number was around 400 for tickets bought ahead of time. That's off the glove of Reagan Duncan and will be in there for a hit, maybe a double. It will be. Sliding into second safely is the leadoff hitter for Missouri, Sophie Smith. And that is a big number that was just written down next to us. 1,018 is the official attendance for today's game. And I believe it will turn into a pitching change for SIUE. Mia Volpert, a rough first inning. Not the first time that's happened for her recently, unfortunately. Her and Michaela Anderson. But a bit of trouble in the top of the 4th. And now a leadoff double in the top of the 5th will yield a change. And taking a look down the left field line, it will be Haley Strain. Haley Strain had one of the best weekends in the Ohio Valley Conference. She came in relief in all 3 home matchups against Eastern Illinois. The only issue was, in all 3 games she came in relief for, they were already in losing scenarios.
Attention fans, now pitching for SIUE, number 18, Haley Strain.
Officially finished the weekend without a record. She's not a pitcher of record for any of those 3 games. But came in a 12-2 game. Actually, what was a 12-4 game at the time she took over. She allowed a run but it was not credited officially to her. In game 1 of the series, had 3.2 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 runs, all of them unearned. A walk, 2 strikeouts, and a few wild pitches. But 20 batters faced. Eight of them reached base. It was not a bad day for her by any means. Finds a strike. And in game 3 is really where she shined, in a game that SIUE very well could have won. She finished with 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, walked 2, struck out 3. Faced 19 batters. Apart from the 2 walks, had the 17 at-bats, and in 73 pitches, the only runs she gave up weren't even the game-winning runs. She took over after the game was already in the favor of Eastern Illinois, and they'd scored what was already the game-winning run, even with two runs later scored for the Cougars in the 4th. Again, a stellar weekend for Haley Strain. Two-one home, fouled back. It's 2-2 to Madison up to Grove. 2 for 2 today. Triple in the first. She swam move a tag that would rival most Division I swimmers nowadays, and had the single in the 3rd. Right back off the foot of Mia Volpert, an infield single that was. She puts that towards center field. Harville has to range back. Tag opportunity over at second base. Hargrove, a heavy throw from Harville, but it's not going to matter. A mistake for her. She turns and puts it out of the reach of Reagan Duncan, who could not corral it. And even with Kaylin Fahey in the neighborhood for some backup, it's an error and what will be another run. This one with only 1 out. Missouri now with 8 on the board, as there will be a pinch hitter here in the home half, or the away half of the 5th inning. Brings in Gracie Britton. Native of Ashland, Missouri, went to Southern Boone High School. .56 true freshman. Has mostly come in to pinch hit this season, limited numbers. And there is a conversation being had amongst our umpires. I don't know if that conversation happened after the change for Missouri. I wonder if there may be a challenge on the way. And with and they will have a conversation about whether the runner at second base left early. It is tentatively an 8-0 game, although I don't know if Harville had left early there, or with the catch from Harville, if they will get the opportunity to put her down with our official replay cameras. Now we will show you a couple angles of this. Now I believe they're challenging whether she left early on the catch, not whether she left early on the pitch. So we can watch the entire sequence from here. Does not look like she left early on the pitch. Let's check the pitch first, see if she left early there. I don't know if you can challenge both in the same instance. It looks like she left at about the same time the ball was released. Now we can go all the way forward to seeing Harville make the catch to figure out if she left early on that. Watch the bottom left of your screen. It does not look like she left early on the catch either. Watch the ball hit the mitt of Harville. She's on the base. That looks fine to me. So If anything, they'd be challenging the ball leaving early, or the runner leaving early from second on the pitch. Ben Sorden is 1 for 1 on those. However, the one thing that's important, there is not a single angle for our official replay cameras that sees both second base and the outfield. Well, after review, the call stands as it was originally called, whether it was the pitch or tagging up at second. SIUE will lose a challenge. That was their second attempted challenge today.
Attention fans, pitch hitting number 13, Gracie Britton.
They are 1 for 2 now on challenges. Strain's first pitch home. After all that, by the way, there's still the pinch hitter at the plate. It's Gracie Britton. On the second pitch of the at-bat, she pelts it towards right field. Van Bruzigen tries to throw her out at first. It was a reasonably close play over at first base, but a single regardless.
Up next, number 44, Lane Ramsey.
Another base runner aboard as it brings back in Lenny Ramsey. Ramsey towards center field. Harville camps under it and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Looks like we've got another adjustment. Looks to be just for the order. Addie Waits back in that leadoff spot. Now with 2 outs, see strike 1. That drops in there for a strike from Strain. 0-2 very quickly. And 2 quickly. That's out of the glove. Will be a pass ball and a free base for Gracie Britton. She advances to second for a discounted rate. And the Cougar defense has more to deal with a runner in scoring position. That's towards the left side. Fahey may have to come up throwing. She does to the cutoff. Reagan Duncan, who wisely holds onto the ball. And a peek over at first base. Originally, Addie Waits did not immediately track back to first base, but he means another pinch hitter will come in for Missouri. Number 21, Hayden Sokolowski, a 5'11" outfielder and senior here. Transfer from Oklahoma State. She will enter in for Stefania Abruscato. Abruscato had a very successful day at the plate. Home run with a 2 RBI home run, that is, 2-run home run. Walked in the second, had a single and another RBI in the fourth. Sokolowski out of Flower Mound, Texas, went to Marcus High School before going to Oklahoma State for an abridged period of time. Watches consecutive strikes go right by her. And it's very quickly 0-2. Limited time is mentioned for Sokolowski, batting 125 this season, a 359 OPS. This is her 16th game. She started in 6 up to this point, but only at bat number 25 for her. She's 3 for 24. Or in a simplified fraction, 1 out of 8 overall. Swings and misses there, make it 3 for 25 in the season, and her batting average drops under that 1 for 8 margin. We head to the bottom of the 5th. SIUE needs to score to avoid getting run ruled at home. It's 8-0 Missouri.
Fans, stop by. First community.
Ready for a local getaway that feels like a world of its own? Escape the ordinary and discover the charm of Southern Illinois. With local wineries, live concerts, farmers markets, and scenic trails to explore, there's an adventure tailored for every taste bud and passion. Our breathtaking lakes offer endless possibilities for adventure. Rent boats, jet skis, or kayaks, and explore our world. Visit Southern Illinois. Start your adventure today.
What's it like to be a student athlete in the OVC? We rise to challenges and challenge others to rise with us. We show respect. We lead by example. In the OVC, we become champions on and off the field. That's OVC Sports, and you've got to OVC it.
Some adjustments for both teams now in this bottom half of the 5th inning. Sokolowski remains in the game. She goes to left. Gracie Britt remains and will now catch. And Linny Ramsey moves from center, or moves to center from left field. We can take a look at the upcoming series. They're brought to you by Visit SI. Make Southern Illinois your summer oasis. Southern Illinois University Edwardsville is headed to UT Martin over the weekend. Unfortunately, that will not be streamed on ESPN Plus, as UT Martin also hosts Lindenwood in baseball, and baseball wins the competition there for some airtime. They host St. Louis, which will be a rubber match on April Fool's Day. We'll have that for you here on ESPN Plus, and then they will host SEMO right before Easter. We will have that for you here on ESPN Plus as well. That's a Friday night and then Saturday afternoon doubleheader, just like it was for SIUE against Morehead State. And then for Missouri, they will head to Auburn and will play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, as is usual for the SEC. They will head to Missouri State and take on the in-state rival in Springfield. That's on March 31st at 5 p.m. They will host LSU. Now, you can see the network insignia next to LSU. That is an SEC Network logo. There's a specific reason for that. Not all games on that series will be on SEC Network, although one of them will be. That's flied to right field and caught for the first out. Betsy Woodward is sat down, and the Cougars are down to their final 2 outs. I talked about the SEC Network side of things, though. Including 2 games against Florida, Missouri will play 6 separate games this season on the flagship SEC Network. They won't play at all against Auburn, nor in their following series at Georgia. But Game 3 versus LSU, that's April 4th at 2:30 p.m. Central Time. Harrison deals to Torres. That's fouled off the right side and will escape out of play. Game 2 versus South Carolina, it's April 18th at 5 p.m. Central. Game 2 at Arkansas is April 25th at 11 a.m. Central. And their final game of the regular season before SEC tournament play will be at home versus Tennessee, May 2nd at noon Central Time. All of those will be on the SEC Network. That 2 is fouled back by Justine Torres. Her second AB of the game. She struck out in the second. Swings and misses at the 0-2. And quickly, the Cougars are down to their final at-bat, and it is Haley Strain. So Haley Strain is the final out of what could be the Cougar day, barring a possible home run. So we can take a look at today's game track. It's brought to you by United Fidelity Bank. United Fidelity Bank serving their communities since 1914. Harrison, 4 innings pitched, now some change. As you can see, the 2 outs there. She is gone, knock on wood, 4 2/3 without allowing a base runner other than the walks. I won't say the words, I promise. Abrascado's got a home run and a single with 3 RBIs. Updegrove's got a triple and a single with 2 RBIs, but it has been a lackluster day for SIUE batting and unfortunately for pitching. Mia Volpert allowed most of the 8 runs you see on the board. And they're now down to their final strike. Strain puts that into the outfield and very quickly ends the day. Sierra Harrison escapes with the no-hitter and gets mobbed by her Tiger teammates. Not sure if she originally realized she threw the no-hitter either. She finishes the game with no hits and obviously no runs scored. No errors for them either. Just the 2 walks are the blemish on her record with 6 strikeouts on the day. It gets the Tigers out of Edwardsville early as they run rule the Cougars and win game number 9 in this season and career series. 6-0 goes the Tiger head coach against the Cougars as well. They win the final line score, 8 runs on 13 hits and no errors. The Cougars finish with no runs on no hits, as mentioned, and 4 errors committed. Missouri makes the trip across I-70 and then 270 and blanks the Cougars. And Sierra Harrison blanks the Cougars entirely. A no-hitter thrown by the Cougar starter. Final score again, 8-0 Missouri over SIUE. For our entire ESPN crew, I'm Daniel Rodier saying so long from Cougar Field in Edwardsville, Illinois, where it's Missouri 8, SIUE 0. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. So long, till this weekend.